The biggest block for ambitious women is not desire, it's worthiness. Most of us want it all, and we believe that all is possible, that we can have the success, the husband, the power, the love, the peace, the passion, all of the things. But truly, in our hearts, there's a little pause, a little doubt that comes in and says, but are you worthy? Is it really meant for you? Can you actually have this? By the end of this episode, we're going to understand why worthiness, not effort, is the real key to being in the receiving of all the things that you truly desire. Hello, my beautiful muses, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. If you're new to my channel or my podcast, welcome. And if you've been here, thank you so much for listening. If you're new to my YouTube, please subscribe. I'm going to have a 5-part series on this, and same on my podcast. This is part 1 of the 5 parts. And today we're going to really dive into what the big problem is when it comes to obtaining everything we want and that worthiness wound that so many ambitious women have, and how to reframe it and how to become the woman that really feels worthy of it all. And so let's start off with the biggest problem that I see not only with my clients, with myself, with most women that I've ever interacted with. And this is that we believe that worthiness is conditional. And we believe this because of the way that we grew up and thinking that we needed to do in order to obtain love or success or recognition, right? As little girls, we're being told, yeah, you did your homework. You did such a good job. You're such a good girl. You did your chores. You look so pretty. So we start to think that like the way that we get love or attention or validation is by doing things. And then this gets reinforced in our later years, and then in our adulthood, it gets reinforced even more. And if you're anything like me, I truly have battled with this so much because for a long time, I didn't allow myself to receive. I always felt like I had to do more and give more and be more and just do so that I can receive, so that I can feel worthy of having. And these will come in sneaky ways for us, right? It's not always so obvious. It's not like a conscious thing that we're like, oh, I just don't feel worthy today. It's not a conscious thought that we have. It comes in the little like sneaky moments where you're like, I'm not going to eat that donut until I walk 10,000 steps. And so I feel worthy of doing that. And the donut's probably not the best example because we shouldn't be eating those anyways. They're not good for our health. But for me, I'll give you my example and what's happened to me recently. I started my business last year in commercial insurance. And I felt this huge tension of, I'm going to be busy a lot. I felt like I was going to be busy 8 to 10 hours a day. This is my new business. I'm going to be just so stressed out and so busy. And there were seasons like that. There was definitely moments, weeks, days that felt that way. But there was also a lot of days where it was quiet, calm. I didn't have much going on. I had a few hours to myself and I did not know what to do with myself. Because part of me didn't want to just maybe watch a show in the middle of the day, or go for a walk, or maybe go get my nails done, or run an errand, or go to the store, or just have a moment, have an hour of leisure to myself, or 2 hours, and I would not allow myself to go there. I did not give myself permission for a while to just do that, because I felt like, no, I should be working, and what else can I do, and what else can I do, and what else can I do? It became habitual to think that I needed to almost feel stressed out and exhausted at the end of the day for me to feel like I did a good job and I was worthy of obtaining peace at the end of my day, that I was worthy of actually watching a TV show, of relaxing. And I've had to learn and continuously learn to just be in my receiving. And so if you're listening to this and you can relate to this, think of how many times you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to not wear that until I lose 5 pounds. You like delayed gratification, right? I'm going to do this until I feel like I am worthy of X, Y, and Z. Fill in your blanks. And this is because we truly feel like we have to earn our worth. We have to earn our worth with our friends, with our partners, with our jobs, with our businesses, with everything that we do. We say, I'm always there for that person. I'm always going to be the greatest worker. I'm always going to be the partner that overgives and overdoes, overachieves. And then we overgive to the point where we're exhausted. We start to overachieve, overfunction. We become so self-reliant that we think that no one else can do it like us. Like no one else can be like us. If I ask for help, no one else is going to be able to do it because there's no one's me. We become super hyper independent. And this shows up and it really leaks into every other aspect of our lives. It leaks into our relationships and it shows up in our romantic relationships just as much as it does in our businesses and the way we handle money in our careers. You will choose an emotionally unavailable man if you don't feel worthy of true unconditional love, of somebody really just loving you to your core and to who you are. You're going to choose somebody that you know is not emotionally available because you don't feel worthy of it. You're going to choose a job or a business idea that makes you feel like you have to always be on. You always have to do in order to receive abundance of money. Like you have to work the 10, 12 hours a day as a nurse, as a whatever. Think of all these different jobs that we have as a business. I'm a business owner. I own my commercial insurance business, but I'm also a mentor. And so this is something that I've had to like learn to undo with my mentoring and to giving to women. I always felt like, well, if they're giving me money, I have to overgive. I have to do all these things. And these things will continue to show up in our romantic life and in our business unless we really pause and stop and just realize that it's happening. Especially in romantic relationships, you're going to have this energy of like one foot in, one foot out. You're going to have that in business too. Sometimes you'll start a business and you'll be like, I'm in, but also like, what's my backup? In a relationship, you're going to be like, I'm in, I love this guy, but also, will this work out? You're going to have this feeling of always like, will the other shoe drop? And this is on a biological level, is your nervous system not feeling safe? Because if you were taught from an early age that you had to work and produce in order to feel loved or validated or receive anything, it's ingrained in your nervous system. So whenever things are feeling too safe or too happy or too good, you're always going to have this energy of, but what if this happens? And so you're always going to live in this one foot in, one foot out, and half in, half out. And where's the other shoe going to drop? And should I really lean into this? I can't really feel safe here. And really, it's because you haven't untaught yourself these things. You won't ever fully relax into the life that you want, that having it all energy, if your body doesn't feel safe, if you don't feel like you're truly worthy of having those things. And so that's what it really is. A lot of social media conversations are about nervous system and like regulating yourself, and is that person safe? Is that man safe? Is that friendship safe? The truth is that we all carry around a bag of trauma, a bag of triggers, a bag of a bunch of things. And if you're unwilling to start feeling worthy right now, just as you are with your bag of traumas and your bag of triggers and your bag of past and your bag of this and your bag of that, no matter who comes into your life, as safe as they can be or just a little safe or whatever, you're not going to ever be able to relax into love. And so I want us to start thinking about this and breaking down the pattern. If you find yourself in this pattern, right? I'll give you another example, and I know a lot of women can relate to this. It's the doing around the house, right? We start like, I need to clean this, I need to clean that. You can't just like lay down and do nothing. Like that's hard for you as an overachiever. I know it's hard for me. And I know it's hard for most of my clients because we're so used to doing. You want to be nurturing and loving and caring to your husband, to your boyfriend, to your partner, whoever is in your life. And you're like doing and doing and doing. And then if they do for you, you almost don't know how to take that. You're like, oh, thank you. But there's like this, do I deserve that? Same thing with friendships. Sometimes your friends will say or do something nice for you. And then you're like, okay, well, now I have to do something nice for them. That is a worthiness wound. Like right there, if somebody does something nice for you and your immediate thought is like, what can I do for them now? I need to do something for them. Maybe not what do I get to do, but now I need to do something for them. That's that worthiness wound. You don't feel worthy of that person taking the time, spending the money, doing whatever it is that they did for you. You feel like you have to overcompensate. You have to give it back. You have to give it right back. And that's not in the feminine energy of receiving as a woman. And in past episodes, I've talked a lot about masculine and feminine energy. And in this series, we're going to talk more about that. But just really quick, I'm just going to like brush over this real fast, just to give you perspective of what the masculine does and the feminine does. The masculine is the doing, the feminine is the receiving and the flow. If you're too much in your masculine, you're disconnected from yourself and you feel exhausted, burned out, stressed out. If you're too much in your feminine, you won't have any structure. You'll feel like life's just happening to you. Everything's chaotic. One's not better than the other one. One's not wrong and one's not right. As a woman, as an ambitious woman, especially, my goal is to help you navigate these two so they can flow, so it's an ease, so it's a dance. It's not one's here, one's there. It's not a balancing act. It is a flow. It is a dance. And so we're going to interrupt this pattern now with 3 really big questions that I want you to ask yourself. And like I said, this is a 5-part series. So every Monday, I'm going to have a new part of the series. And by next week, if you're watching this or whenever, I just want you to like sit with this. If you're watching this later in the week, I don't want you to put pressure on yourself to like answer these questions, because I really do want you to sit with these questions, because these are the deeper questions that you're not really asking yourself. You're up here with your surface level, have it all, like, oh, I really want this. You think you want these things because you saw it. Someone else had it because your parents told you your whole life you had to do X, Y, Z. You have to go to school. You have to be successful. You have to do this. Or your friends have it. Or, you know, we're right here sometimes with our ambition. And the truth is that if we don't truly know what our desires are, which are down here in the root, in our core, in our soul, we're never going to feel worthy of actually going there because we're not allowing ourselves. We're staying up here in the superficial area, feeling unworthy and just doing all the things and overgiving and overachieving and overdoing just so that we feel worthy of the things that we don't even truly desire. The things that we truly desire are here, and you're worthy and whole right here. And so we're going to break that up right now with these 3 questions. Question number 1 is, what would I want if I trusted that I did not have to earn it? So what would you truly want if you didn't have to earn it? So this isn't something that you're like, okay, I have to work 10 years, own my business for 10 years in order to have the house, the things, whatever. If you didn't have to earn something, what would you truly want? If it just came easy, if tomorrow it was just like there in your front door, a husband, a business, a car, a house, peace, fulfillment, passion, what would be there if you did not have to earn it? If you felt like it just can come easily and naturally for you. All right, and question number 2 is, what feels expansive, but also very uncomfortable? This is the thing that you think about when you're in the shower, when you're driving, when you're just in your thoughts, when you're imagining, when you're dreaming of things. That is the thing that I want you to really dig deep into this. What is that one thing that feels really big, really expansive, but also makes you feel really uncomfortable? Like, whew. And I'll give you mine so that we can like break the ice here, because no answer is too crazy, okay? And there's no desire that's too crazy. I remember when I was little and I was young, I can't believe I'm even going to tell you guys this, but when I was younger, I used to like do like dance performances. I can't believe I'm going to talk about this, but I used to do dance performances for like my mom and my sibling or my sisters. It was just a thing. I grew up Latina and Hispanic. We love to dance, okay? It's just like a thing. But I used to like imagine myself when I was little in front of like a stage, like dancing or performing something. And that is not something I want now as an adult, right? But fast forward, I realized I connected these 2 dots because I've now desire and now envision myself with me speaking in front of a bunch of people, me speaking to thousands of people, and what that would look like. And I've had these images and I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember when I was little, I used to imagine these things too, performing or doing something like that where people were watching me. And so call it like alignment or whatever. I don't know. Who knows, right? But does it make me uncomfortable? Absolutely. Like, whew, the thought of like standing in front of somebody, like talking live, remembering a whole speech freaks me the F out. Okay. So it freaks me out. And so think of something like that, or maybe think about like flying in a private jet. And sometimes that makes me uncomfortable because I'm like, how much money would I need to make in order to make that happen? And these are maybe not as deep as yours. Maybe yours is a lot deeper than that. Maybe yours is like creating a foundation that's going to help millions of people. Maybe it's a little more vain and you really just want to have a nice car and you're like, how would I even get there? Whatever it is, I want you to feel that expansion, and it needs to make you uncomfortable. It needs to expand you and make you uncomfortable. This is how I get deep into you, what you truly desire. And then the last one is, what part of your life are you waiting to be good enough to enjoy? I know we all have this because I've done it. I've been like, okay, when I lose 10 pounds, I'll do that photo shoot, or I'll go to the beach, or I'll wear that dress. Or when I make 10,000, this was a big one for me because even like last year or the year before that, when I was still working for somebody with the commercial insurance, I was like, great, when I make $10,000 a month, then I'll feel worthy of spending more money on myself. Like that was a big one for me because I was like, I don't want to spend money on myself. I don't feel worthy of spending money for myself yet because I'm not making a lot of money. And so I had other things that I wanted to invest in and do all these other things. And I'm like, I put myself last. And that was a big one for me because I was like, I just don't feel worthy of it. And it could be small. It could be that candle that you're waiting to light up because it's such an expensive candle. You're waiting for the perfect scenario. It could be small and it could be big, but we all have something that we're like, I'm waiting to be worthy once I have the money, the body, the man, fill in your blank. We all have that. We don't need to wait. You're worthy just the way you are. We were all born worthy. And this is the thing that we continuously forget as women because we get so caught up in our mind and in our ambition and in our doing that we put all our eggs into this basket of, this is what I did. And if I like the way it looks, then I'm worthy. And if I don't like it, if I don't like the way it looks, and if people don't like the way it looks, then that means I'm not worthy. And the truth is that God made you worthy and perfect just the way you are. He made you to allow yourself to have an abundance of whatever it is that you want, whether that's love, money, health, wealth, whatever it is, you are allowed to want these things. And so this is a identity installation that I want to program in you right now. And I want you to feel grounded when you answer these questions, when you think of your life, when you think about the worthiness that you have in you, or when somebody does something nice for you, when next time you catch yourself in that pattern of I'm going to wait till, or I won't relax until, or I'm going to overgive here, I'm going to overachieve. I want you to ground yourself back into, wait a minute, I am worthy. I have this new installation programmed identity in me after I listened to this YouTube video / podcast. And now I feel grounded in myself and I'm safe enough to receive. I am worthy enough to receive. I am open. I am self-trusting. And you're not chasing anymore. You're not bracing for impact. You're not bracing for the next thing that might go wrong. You're not bracing for, is this safe? Because you know that you're worthy of attracting love. You're worthy of attracting all the things that you want, money, finances, whatever it is. You're not bracing yourself anymore. You're not doing this in and out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out energy anymore. As of today, you're choosing something different. You're going to answer these questions. You're going to open up those depths and have more clarity. Because here's the thing, clarity doesn't come from doing more or urgency or I need to do this, I need to do that. It comes from calmness. It comes from allowing yourself to actually just feel what you want to feel, receive what you want to receive, get what you want to get, right? It comes from that calm energy so that you can get really clear on what you want. I want you to practice receiving without needing to do. I want you to practice relaxing without needing to do. Those are going to be your homeworks for this week. And I also want to give you this mantra because, believe it or not, I think this is hard for us to believe sometimes, even though we get so caught up in our minds. Our minds tell us stories all the time. And so you're either writing the story, so you're telling yourself what the narrative is, or your mind's going to do it for you. And our minds are connected to our nervous system, and they're here to protect us. They're not here and installed here to have us live this abundant life. It kind of just wants to keep us safe. And you grow a little and it just wants to keep you safe. And you grow a little and it wants to keep you safe. And so right now, I want you to listen to this mantra and I want you to write it down on your phone, go back to it when you need it. And every time that story comes up that says, you're not worthy, don't take a break, you need to do more, you're overachieving, you're not doing enough, you're not worthy enough, you don't look good enough, you don't fit into those clothes, you haven't worked out enough, whatever that is, I want you to read this mantra to yourself. I allow myself to feel whole and receive an abundance of love, health, and wealth just the way I am. And you can make this a little different if you want to. You can add something different. This is my mantra that I'm sharing with you because this is what I'm constantly telling myself. My word of the year actually is abundance. So this is what I want abundance in, is abundance in love, health, and wealth. And so I want to also continuously train myself to understand that I am worthy. Think of it like this. I'm 35 years old. Not sure how old you are, but I'm 35, almost 36 years old. I started personal development, let's say, 7-8 years ago. So before that, I had 29 years of having and feeling like I had to prove my worth to myself. Like it was conditional. Like me receiving love, me receiving anything was conditional to me doing X, Y, and Z. So now I get to rewrite that. I get to uncondition myself. And it's not something that happens overnight. I've been working on this for years. And so I want you to choose today that the awareness that you have is enough, that the pattern interruption is going to be enough, and that you will go back to these questions. You really will go back into yourself and allow yourself to desire and open yourself up to those desires so that you can be in that receiving energy, so that you can be in that feminine energy as you work and do with the masculine energy. The problem is that we're staying in our masculine. We're not coming back to our feminine enough. We're not coming back to the receiving power enough. And so I want you to do that and go back to this mantra. And then in next week's episode, we're going to talk about the emotional skill that no one has taught emotional women and how mastering this is going to absolutely change your life and your finances and your love life and in everything else that you want to do. And again, thank you so much for watching this. If you are here on YouTube, thank you. And on my podcast, I appreciate every single listen, every single person that's subscribed or has commented or has left a review. Thank you so much. And I will talk to you guys next week.